What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening, people? We are back. Another edition of ATL 3 Style Live podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, Leo G. And out there to the south side is my boy Banks. What's going on with you, baby Banks?
What's
What's up?
going on, Leo? Leo, how y'all feeling out there, internet world out there? What's going on?
Man, good to be back. Good to be back. Banks took a break. He had to get away. Calgon take me away. He had to go somewhere. I don't know where he went, man. Our boy Reggie, man, held us down on last week, man. We did some soccer talk, man. So Banks is back in the building, man. We're gonna talk some ATL sports, and we're gonna just talk some sports in general tonight, right?
Absolutely, man. Been when I was away, it's probably one of many of what I'm doing this summer. I'm doing a lot of traveling this year. Again, I'm just blessed to be able to do that. Yeah, but this is gonna be a real busy travel season. Wheels up, as they say, for Mr. Banks right here.
Yeah, man, getting out there doing your thing, man. I hear that, man, for real. That's what's up, man. The summer, like the Banks just said, summer is upon us. Kids out of school, man, so got a lot of stuff going down over the summer, man. ATL, man, are you guys ready? World Cup here in just a couple of days. I mean, we are right upon. I don't think the city is ready. But the World Cup is gonna be going down here in just a few days. We're a few days literally away from the World Cup being here on the North American soil, man. Banks, I don't think the city is nowhere near ready, man. I'm going everywhere. I'm all over the city. The bad parts of Atlanta are still prevalent. They still shutting down highways, byways. Marta ain't got the trains ready. The airport look a mess, man. But hey, we're gonna host the World Cup.
Well, I mean, do what you do, brother. I went going to the work every day, and they put little, some soccer stuff on the wall, Atlanta United stuff on the wall. I guess that's like a welcome, I guess. It's not as much as I think it could be. They put a big giant spear in the atrium. If you ever go to the Hartsville, you can see this big illuminated spear, and I guess that's supposed to symbolize a soccer ball. I have no idea, but um like you said, no, the train's not ready. They postponed the new trains that they're bringing out. So I guess, I mean, I hope do what you do, bro. Do what you do.
We're gonna see. We're gonna see how this all shakes out, man. So we right here upon us, man. Got the schedule and everything and how things are gonna flow with some of the games here, man. Of course, ticket prices still ain't went nowhere. They're still sky high. And it's a damn shame because a lot of people are not gonna be able to experience this because of the high prices, man. So it is what it is, man. I'll enjoy it from afar, on the TV, whatever I have to do, man. I'm definitely gonna be tuned in, locked in, man. It should be fun. World Cup is always fun, Banks. I don't know if you really pay any close attention to it, man, but I think a lot of people are soccer people. Every 4 years when this thing's come around, when it comes around, it's just like the Olympics, man. It's so much fun to watch these teams, even if you don't know a lot about soccer, man. I think a lot of people get that bug, man, and they get into it. And I'm pretty sure be locked in and tuned in too, right?
Yeah, I would be pulling for the US, see how they can make it. Um After that, after this, if or when the US get eliminated, hopefully they'll go all the way. If they do, then of course you know me, I'll be on to other things.
Man, listen, the United States they got a tough team, man. They'll be presenting a tough team. Once again, the U.S. Soccer Federation is now based right here in Atlanta. We're right outside of Atlanta. Let's be for all the ATL people. Let me do this right. They're in Fayetteville, Georgia. They're right outside south of the city in Fayetteville, Georgia, man. That's where they're gonna be setting up base camp, man. They're gonna be traveling all over this thing playing games, but U.S. soccer is here to stay. So from now on, moving forward, the men, the women, the youth, everybody will train and convene here when they get ready for international competition. So I think that's pretty cool, man, to have them right here with a world-class facility down there, Banks. I don't know if you got a chance to see any other videos or the renderings but I mean, it is huge down there right by Trilliff. And I've been by it, man. It's a beautiful facility. I don't know. I think they were somewhere outside of Chicago, if I'm not mistaken, before. I don't think those facilities were nowhere near like they are now, man. So if you hadn't been down there to take a look at it, go down there and check it out, or check out some videos and pictures. All right, Banks. Before we get into the meat of the show, man, we know how we got to do it, man. Go ahead and shout out our boy out there, Eastlands, man.
Yeah, check out my boy Phil on Eastland's Woodworking Company. He does all personal work for your personal needs. Anything that you want personalized, You got some coasters, some ashtrays, some plaques you want to be hanged up with your name or your favorite team or your fraternity or anything that you want that you just feel like is specialty towards you. Hit that QR code and tell them we sent you.
Oh, I took it down too fast. My bad. Took it down too fast. But y'all see the QR code. Also, we looking for some more partners, man. We looking for some more people, man. So look, hit us up, man. Definitely looking for more partners, man. We definitely want to push businesses out there. I think I'm working on a one other partnership as well, Banks, man. So hopefully they'll come through here in a minute and we'll be able to shout them out. All right, Banks, let's roll right into it, man. A couple of things that have happened over the weekend. Obviously, man, y'all see what we got on. We'll get to that here in just a minute because that's gonna be the thick of the show. But a couple of things that just happened and transpired over the weekend, Banks. Don't know if you know, but we'll go ahead and talk about it. I'll go ahead and discuss it a little bit, man. UEFA Champions League just happened this past weekend, Banks. So I need to run over UEFA Champions League.
Absolutely.
So I give you the short version. So UEFA Champions League is basically all of the top tier teams. I'm sorry, not teams. Leagues over in Europe. The Bundesliga, La Liga, um, League One in France, the Premier League in England. So all of the top tier teams in Europe, they have a allotted number of teams that go and play in this big tournament called Champions League. So like the Premiership, the English Premier League, they have like 4 teams. And other leagues, they send 1 or 2 and so forth and so on. So they all play in this tournament, which actually coincides during the season as well, which is pretty cool. So that team from North London, I hate to say their name, but I'll give you some context. Banks Arsenal, who actually won the Premier League. They took on PSG in the UEFA Cup Champions League final. And PSG, they win back-to-back Champions Leagues, man. They end up winning this thing in penalty kicks, man. So that just happened this past weekend, man, as the Europe soccer season just wrapped up as they get prepared for the World Cup. So that was pretty cool here, man. The game wasn't bang. So I will say this much before we move on, man. It was a pretty cool game, but you could tell, man, that these guys, a lot of them will be playing in the World Cup, and you could tell that they weren't trying to mess that up, man. You know, usually you see a tough physical battle when it comes to these Champions League games, but I guess the World Cup coming up, everybody say, "Hey, man, listen, I'm not about to tear ACL or mess up my hamstring before I get to play on the world stage, man." So and they played a pretty tough game, man. Ended up being, I think, 2-2, and then we, went into extra time, and then we went into PKs. There's a lot of drama behind the PKs, as it always is. For me in soccer, when you get the penalty kicks, man, it's literally a crapshoot at that point. No matter how you line them up, no matter what you do, it's just, at that point, you just kind of rolling the dice with penalty kicks. So that just went down on this past weekend. Also, this past weekend, Banks, we now know who are going to be playing in the NBA Finals. I think that'll fire up tomorrow night. You got the New York Knicks versus the San Antonio Spurs. I think San Antonio Spurs ended up taking out OKC in 7 games. The Knicks just, sweeping everybody. Of course, they didn't sweep the Hawks, but they swept everybody else en route to the NBA Finals. Banks, your thought on this NBA Finals, man, as it comes up, man? Knicks Spurs starting game 1 tomorrow night.
Well, I'm kind of excited for it. I think this is a rematch for the 1999 NBA Finals. We get to see some one of the hottest teams in the NBA right now, the New York Knicks, and versus the most upcoming face of the league, and was it Wemby?
Victor
Um,
Wembanyama, yep.
Victor Wembanyama. So yeah, that's going to be something interesting to see. A lot of people kind of on this, kind of glad that they're not seeing OKC again. They call it flop central, whatever, if you will. But listen, good show. I was catching some of them, the OKC and San Antonio. They were playing some ball, man. It was one of those things that I wish you was, wish you had a teleport the machine where you can just teleport yourself into that arena and to be a part of that. That was some good hooping. So yeah, New York and San Antonio, let's go.
Hey, man, it's gonna be a good matchup here, man. I really can't call it. I'm gonna dig a little more into it, man. Of course, I tune in and fired up game 1. But Spurs are a very intriguing team, man. And the reason they are intriguing because just a few years ago, man, they were at the bottom. And one of the things we discussed and one of the things we talked about is the NBA trying to do something to figure out what they're going to do about this tanking because literally they tanked for Victor Wembanyama. Now ironically, here they are in the NBA Finals with him being almost probably the next, quote unquote generational player. In the playoffs, I've seen this guy's 7 foot, what, 5, crossing people up, shooting threes from the logo, man. I mean, the dude keeps getting better and better. You see this dude, he uh doing Hakeem Olajuwon type moves and turns and push. Hey, you know, out the Spurs, they may have found the formula. Maybe they knew what they were doing. But Banks, your thoughts? I don't get it, man. It's still, I still think that this tanking thing, man. You got to figure out how to do this, man. Because I just think you don't a lot of team. You take the competitiveness and the parity away from the game, in my opinion.
I mean, I feel like it's not fair for a team that doesn't have a subpar year or stuff happens. Injuries happen. A team is like what 20 games under 500. They feel like, well, let's try to get us a good some lottery balls and let's have some fake injuries out there and rest some guys. Yeah, it is kind of unfair, but at the same time, what if there's a legitimate team out there that's just not talented enough, and all of a sudden they don't have, uh, they don't have the talent that they, like these other good teams have, and the look for that matter, and then you're gonna penalize them too, I guess, because they will fall under that, they're not that good, and all of a sudden, I don't know, bro. I don't know what the NBA is trying to do right now, man. For me, I just wish they would just come to some kind of meeting ground where they all can, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I really don't.
In
I really
the in
don't.
in the
I
words
really
of
don't.
in the words of Rodney King, can we all just get along? Can we figure this out? Yeah, Banks, I know what you're saying, man. We just got to figure it out, man, for the integrity of the league. I mean, it benefits some people and some people it doesn't. I feel like it should be parity all the way around when it comes to the league. And the because my thing is, man, you go to an NBA game, you go to an arena, man, you pay your money, you want to see, good competition, and then you see down the stretch where you get a team like the Wizards freaking lose 20 of their last 30 so they can make sure they got enough balls in the machine so they can get number one pick. It's absolutely crazy. It's insane to me, man. You got to figure out a way to bring some parity over into the NBA, man. But we got to fire up the NBA Finals coming up on tomorrow night, man. Like I said, the New York Knicks taking on the San Antonio Spurs, man. Shout out to the Spurs fans, man. I've seen all kind of crazy videos of them down there in Texas, and they got that. One thing I guess they got them Spurs fans. They gonna ride for their team, man. So they we're gonna see how this works out. I think game one will be in New York, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not for sure. I think it will be in New York. Is that right,
Um,
Banks?
I'm not for
I have to
certain.
look that up,
I
man.
think they was in San Antonio. I don't know. I can probably check right quick.
Yeah, we
But
can look that up and see where they gonna start, where they gonna fire this thing up, man. Also, man, so we'll move on. Banks, if you give us the tell us where they starting game one at here in just a minute. We're gonna talk a little NFL news, Banks. So I'm gonna bring it into the NFL for just a second.
okay,
Um, got some trade news, man. June 1st, I think, if I'm not mistaken, was like the actual calendar year where all the stuff goes off the books and all of the things get rearranged and moved around with the money. Uh, the so with the Falcons, the Kirk Cousins deal and money, that stuff is can finally we're finally watched of him and a couple of other people, man. So Banks, where do you see us now, man? We know that of course, from a cap perspective, man, we're not really in the position that we want to be, man, trying to free up money just to make sure we'll have some money moving forward into the season if we need to do some moving and shaking. But that part of the Atlanta Falcons is now over. We can look forward now. That with after that debacle.
well, I guess this is what the OTAs is over with. I guess we go into the next. What's the training camp? I
Mandatory.
guess, yeah,
You have mandatory OTAs, I think, and then you'll have
the training camp. Okay,
training camp will be coming up toward the end of
yeah,
July. So
July.
yeah, we move.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I feel like the timing of especially everything that went down yesterday with the two trades, and then it kind of like set the NFL world on fire, and then it's like you got some fans, where Atlanta's like, wow, it's like looking over the fence and seeing the grass and people playing, and you wish your team can do that, but listen, I look at the Rams as a team that they put their chips in to every chance they get, and they go for the gusto, and so I just, tip my cap at them. It's like, look, they do what they do. You know what I'm saying? That's just what they do. They'll get rid of a first round pick in a heartbeat. They don't even think twice about it. So, I mean, I just tell everybody, don't always look at the other team. It's not always, always the good thing that your team could do the same thing. We got what we got, and we're just gonna roll with it.
I mean, hey, the Rams, that's what they do. So if you didn't know already, man, Rams trade bid for Myles Garrett from the Browns. In the trade, Jared Verse woke up and is now a Cleveland Brown. That's crazy, right? You go, you wake up and like, what? I'm where? He goes to Cleveland in this trade for Myles Garrett, man. Listen, the Browns received the first a number one pick 2027, a number two pick in 2028, and the third pick in 2029, man, which is absolutely insane. Les Snead is legendary for saying F them picks, and he did it again with this Myles Garrett trade. Does that make the Rams better? I mean, obviously the Rams were a playoff contending team last year. Of course, they brought Matthew Stafford back. I think they re-upped him for a couple more years. He's aging, he's up there. But hey, we always talk about these windows in sports, man. And in the NFL, you have a window. And if you got to swing for the fence, you got to swing for the fence. Here's the funny part, though, Banks, man. So I think there was some chatter on social media. People were seeing Donald, your man Aaron Donald, working out, and now there's some speculation: is he coming out of retirement after them picking up Myles Garrett, which would be absolutely insane because both of these guys are freaks of nature. if Aaron Donald decided to come out of retirement, well, that would be
Yeah,
absolutely
I
insane.
think it's like fun speculations to have, but just the fact that a franchise like the Rams who had Aaron Donald now have Miles Garrett, it's like dang, they just you keep get these beasts these fall in their laps like that, and then it is wild to even know that Jared Verse, was in his bed sleeping comfortable as a LA Ram. He wakes up and bam, you are a Cleveland Brown. I mean, that's wild, dude. It's like yeah, that's something that you just. I mean, he's in the league, bro. He can't be. You can't feel too bad for him, but at the same time, it's like, damn, you went from the top of the mountain almost to the depths of hell, So, but hey, like I said, he's in the NFL. I guess that's he got going for himself. So, but hey, I remember I wanted Jared Verse so when he was in college. So hey, you know,
Hey,
rich
man,
keep getting richer.
it is what it is, man. We'll see what the Rams do, man. That NFC, well, I was about to say the NFC West is gonna be crazy, and it probably will be based upon the fact that you got the defending Super Bowl champ. As quiet as it's kept, man, it just don't even feel like Seattle won the Super Bowl. I guess, man, that was like a real quiet Super
But
Bowl
and
champion.
but it's I mean, whatever it was, man, they did it. You know what I'm saying? They went out there. I mean, they offensive coordinator, man, he was cooking the whole league, man. And that's who I wanted as the Falcons head coach, by the way. I wanted him, you know what I'm saying? And everyone kept saying we couldn't wait on him. I'm like, why not? What was our rush? Why we gotta hurry up? He was there, you know what I'm saying? And Raiders got him one. So look, I've looked at it like this, man. The Seattle Seahawks, they went out there, they took the most mediocre quarterback you got, and they made it work. And that's how I know that you can win with anything as long as you got a defense and a coach that know what the hell they doing, bro. So Seattle is a prime example of that. So listen, hey, kudos to them, man. I don't know if they're gonna repeat. I have no clue. You know what I'm saying? They got a lot of coaches that left their team and went all the places. They're sitting high right now, feel like they are gonna repeat because, that's what I guess what teams do when they win. I mean, I wish I could feel that at some point in my life.
You sour graping over there, man. Listen, uh, listen. I gotta give Sam Darnold some credit, man. Of course, obviously, man. There's a conversation to be had about him getting multiple chances, obviously, in this league, man. And he ends up there in Seattle, like you said, with Kubiak, and they make it happen. You never saw Sam Darnold look like this, but let's give him some credit. I mean, he learned. Okay, you don't want to give him any credit. You want to give this all to
No, no,
Kubiak,
no,
huh?
no. I'm not saying I'm not giving. I'm not saying not give him credit. I'm just saying you didn't expect that from him. Like no one thought that
No,
Sam
nobody
Darnold, out of
expected that
all
from him.
people, Sam
Absolutely not.
Darnold. I mean, he's gonna go up
No.
there and win a Super Bowl. I mean, hmm? Like
No,
if
no.
you would have said this time last year that Seattle's gonna win the Super Bowl with Sam Darnold, I think everybody like, dude, what are you smoking? So I mean, they did it. So I mean, like I said, it's that just proves my point that you can have a mediocre mid-tier quarterback out there, long as your coach know what the hell he's doing and your defense is A1. I mean,
Listen,
bro, you can go out there and
listen,
beat anybody.
listen, man. That's the beauty of sport. That's the beauty of the NFL, man. Several years back, we would have never thought somebody would get hurt with the at that time the St. Louis Rams and go down, and a dude that was bagging groceries 6 months before would come in and damn near build a dynasty in the greatest show on turf in St. Louis, right? You just never see what's coming from time to time in sports. Like I said, Sam Darnold, no, nobody expected to see that, man. But it right place, right time. Like I said, I guess maybe he learned after he was a journeyman and went several different teams and got there, no pressure, was the man in Seattle and was able to do what he did. So, I mean, that's the beauty of the NFL. I mean, right now, we're kind of in, a lot of people would say quarterback purgatory, if you would be, but hey, who knows, man? I mean, Tua, we don't know. We don't know Penix coming off this injury. You just don't know. I mean, people are speculating, say, oh man, we tanking for Arch or whatever the case may be. We're gonna fire it up for a quarterback again in the draft. We just don't know. We got to lace them up. I like to always say that, man. I mean, you could play the field and say because things look a certain way that the outcome might turn out that way, but you just never know. I mean, new coaching staff here. One of the big spots is, before we move on and talk about the meat of the show, Banks, is that I've been hearing a lot of good things out of Flowery Branch with Matt Ryan. Be that as it may, I know the sound coming from the camp up there is that he's been very, very hands-on. But I think from a player perspective, and actually from a fan perspective, for me, I kind of dig it, man. I kind of like the fact that Matt Ryan is out there, showing his face and being around what's going on with the OTAs, man. So that's one good point I could see with our team, is that, you got somebody that's very, very familiar with this team. And I mean, he's hands-on. I mean, you can't say the guy's sitting in the office somewhere, or he's twiddling his thumbs, man. He's out there, shorts and t-shirts, throwing balls and assessing everything, man, and kind of implementing stuff from his football brain, into the juice that they got going on up there, man. So I think that's pretty cool for what it's worth.
Yeah, to watch, Matt Ryan out there, tossing the ball around a little bit, I think that's the nostalgic factor. A lot of fans that appreciated him, like to see him out there doing what he do. I don't see no problems out of it. I like his hands-on approach when it comes to this team. That his first year as president, he bring them guys together, no problems at all.
Yeah, man, I like it. I really do, man. There's some holes and some holes to fill and some stories to tell. Obviously, man, we'll see how this thing all shapes out moving forward until when we get into the preseason, man, because we know there's going to be a whole lot of shaking and moving going on until we, going into, camp and then going into preseason, man. But hey, everybody got a fighting chance, man. It's 0-0 right now, man. Seattle word the champions. You know what I'm saying? We're going into a new season. We're gonna see how they work out. All right, look, let's talk about somebody that knows how to be champions, Banks. Let's do it. Let's talk about those. Look at him. He ready now. Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about that winning team here in the city. Talk about these Atlanta Braves, man. These hot Atlanta Braves, man, who are exceeding definitely my personal expectations, man. Braves are coming in this thing, man. Best team in the NL, man. 40-20 right now, 9.5 games up in the East. Banks. Boy, these Braves look good. You hear me?
Let me correct you a little bit, sir. It's not the best record in the NL. It's the best record in the league, brother.
Well,
They they
excuse me,
they
my
have
bad, my
they're
bad.
there's, as you can see in my tagline, they're the first team to 40 wins at in 60 games, bro. That's the fastest. And they did this in May. Okay, the end of May they were already at 40. That's the fastest the Braves team has ever reached 40. And it's an incredible feat because if you look at the context, Braves had a lot of injuries in that starting rotation, man. Four guys, I believe, went down. A lot of question marks. That left fielder out there whose name that I would not repeat on here. Um, but he went and did what he did, and it's like a lot of, what are we doing? That whole going into out of the, you know, February, March, going into April, it's like here we go again. The same old bad luck Braves. And then all of a sudden, this Braves just take 2 out of 3 from these teams, and they haven't lost what 2 series, you know, since March, and here we are, 40-20. And it's no big deal, right? Oh, by the way, we got some starters coming back. That's on rehab assignment. Spencer Strauss Schwellenbach. Hurry up and get well, sir, so we can get some of these players that's in the current rotation back in that bullpen. Who is fired, by the way? Listen, Leo, I don't know if you've been watching baseball. Like I've been watching it like nightly. Like I've been like having not watched missed a game. I have baseball that's very dear to my heart for obvious reasons. I watched the Braves a lot in my lifetime, and I've never seen this team how resilient they are. They'll put anything out there that's starting nine, and they'll make it happen. You know, I don't know if that was because of the changing of the guard. When we changed managers, and we got who I call Goldberg as a manager. That bald head. I just I like to do comparisons. So that's Goldberg. I like to call it for tackling Jorge Soler and getting that game. So, but anyway, yeah, Walt Weiss, man, he's that. I don't know if he's a mastermind when it comes to substitution. He'll go out there. He had a couple of blunders. A couple of games that he blew. In my opinion, he leaving him pitching there too long, inning too long, maybe, and all of a sudden, we lost the game. But overall, he's doing a great job. Like I said, we got players that's coming back. I think our biggest issue, Leo, is that we have a shortstop issue. Hossein Kim, if I'm not saying his name right, and we got a Jorge Mateo, and we are sitting back wondering who should we play. The guy who's getting paid the most money, or who's swinging the hot bat. And right now, Walt Weiss is saying, whoever the hottest is going to play. So Mateo, you get the call up, brother. You're not going to sit down until you make a blunder. Sorry, Mr. Kim, but you're gonna watch the game from the bench. So I love it. Had that been, our previous manager, he'll been, being loyal and being overly loyal to these players, and they'll sit on the field until I don't know. Mateo probably will never see the playing field if you ask me, mess around with him. But I think overall though, Leo, it's the excitement going around with this Braves team. I, for one, am very proud of them to see the resilient that they're having, and the whole entire what they call Braves country, all over the country, for that matter. You'll see Braves fans everywhere, and doing their. I don't know if you can see my hands, but they'll do the little bird wave, after a home run or after a big hit or whatever, timely hitting for that. They've been doing incredibly the whole entire season. Timely hitting. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Hey man, we can tell you're very giddy about this, man.
Oh my
We can
God,
we can
yes,
absolutely tell you're
extremely
very
giddy. I'm
excited.
over the moon with this team. Like I will sit there and keep rambling about the Braves until you will probably mute me and be like, I don't want to hear what he got to say. Let me tell you
Well,
something.
listen, man. Listen, man. They've been very, very dominant. As you all can see, Banks loves dominance. He wants to see his teams go out there, put belt to ass every night, leave no question, no question, no doubt that this is the team to beat. And obviously, the Braves have answered the call, like you said, Banks. Every night they've gone out here, only lost 2 series, man, since we've started this thing up in April, man. 40-20 is nothing to sneeze at. And running away with the NL East, might I add, man. So, and let's just give credit to the players and let's give credit what credit is due. Obviously, man, Ronald Acuna is back, man. We've seen him in the last couple of games doing what he does, man. So we can see him back from an offensive standpoint, man. I saw him hit like what was it, a grand slam over the monster up there in Boston. So he's just back doing what he does, man. Chris Sale, man, obviously, man, we talked about him and, him being up there long in the tooth, man, but he's doing this thing, holding it down for us, what I'm saying, out there on the mound. Olsen's doing this thing. Like you said, Banks, everybody is doing what they need to do to put this together. And the resilience part of it, I think you have to give some credit to Walt Weiss and what he's he's injected into this team. Obviously, man, yes, he's been moving some things around with the lineup, but you didn't see this energy, you know what I'm saying? No, and this is no knock on Snit, man, but you didn't see this energy, man, when Schnitt was there. I guess new manager bump, man, really counted for something, man. Because Weiss has these guys playing resilient. They're always in games. There's never any fear. When you see the Braves get out there and they go down a couple of runs, they're gonna hang in there, tooth and nail, even all the way down to the last out in the ninth inning. And I watched, the Reds game the other day, man. They had a chance to, tie that thing up, but it just didn't happen. You don't see them let a lot of these games get away. If they're gonna fight like this all the way through, man, we got. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, man. But if they continue on this path, if they continue on this trajectory, obviously, man, we're looking at something special, man. Got the Toronto Blue Jays in here tonight. I have no idea who is on the damn Blue Jays. Who is it? Vladimir still with the Blue Jays?
It's Guerrero
Guerrero
Jr.
Jr. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Guerrero
the
Jr. He's the hot hand over there in Toronto.
the
We
hot
got
hand.
Bryce. Well,
I'm looking at I'm
he's
looking
the
at the
big bat.
stats. Okay.
He's the big bat. I mean, I guess what the casual baseball fan who
Hmm.
knows
With
Toronto
with
Blue
with
Jays.
with
That's
three
what.
with three with three home runs this year. That's what I'm looking
Well, I
at.
mean, I'm just telling you,
Okay.
when it comes to when it comes to
Name
name
recognition.
value, when it comes to the All-Star voting, trust me, he's going to be top of the list. No matter what his stat is, he's going to be in there. You just believe that. But I mean, I look at it, pretty much, what we got. It's not about who we play. I mean, I always look at who our starting pitcher is. Tonight we got Bryce Elder on the mound. It's been a pleasant surprise for the Braves this year, man. Last season, he was coming around towards the end, but now it's like he hit a switch, and now he's getting more confident. He's added another pitch to his arsenal, and now he's doing his thing. A little shaky every once in a while, but all of them had a questionable start here and there, but I can't take nothing from his surprise, his 2.35 ERA that he's having currently as we speak. So other than that, though, I mean, Leo, I mean, it's like who we play next, line them up and we knock them down. You
Knock
feel
him
me?
down. Yeah, you got. I feel you, man. You got to get Elder, man. See if we can get his bullpen a little break here, man. See if we can get him into some, fifth, sixth inning, man. See what he could do with that. But other than that, man, like I said, I have nothing negative to say, other than the fact, injuries are gonna happen. That's what we do. I mean, I think Drake Baldwin is the latest injury bug that's been bit, man. I think they put him on the IR. Hopefully he'll be back here momentarily. Don't know. I don't. Did they give a timeline as to when Drake Baldwin to be back? Because I know I hadn't
They
heard
were
anything.
saying something about towards mid-June, end of June, perhaps. But I mean, we need him back because I think our catching situation is in dire when it comes to the bats. We got Trump and whoever else. I think Leon. I think his last name is Leon, and we haven't had a catcher at bat to reach base since like May 21st, and that's like a terrible stat. We need Baldwin severely. We need Baldwin, and not to mention, I'm reading all these comments on Big Love 224K. Put Ronald Acuna on the bench or DH, sir. I disagree with you. You cannot put him on the bench. You cannot put Ronald Acuna. He's got to play as long as that bat is getting hot. You got to keep him in the lineup. DH, that will be for Dom Smith. Dom Smith is swinging a good bat. You got to keep Ronald Acuna where he is. He is leading off. Let the man keep doing what he's doing. Because, like we always said, as the weather gets hot, so are those bats. So I'm sorry. I mean, Ronald Acuna, you got to stay in the lineup by all means. I think what we need to think about is maybe Albies need to be
Yeah,
get ready to
Albies
sit down. I mean,
has
he's
been
been the
a little
one that's
disappointing.
kind of
Yeah.
disappointing. Like I don't know where his bat is, man. He's getting to the point now he's becoming an automatic out. So I'm not liking that from him. He's better than that, way better than that.
I mean, yeah, slumps. I mean, there's a lot of baseball left, man. Obviously, we know the player that Ozzy Albies is, man. So he, this happens in baseball. We see slumps. Hopefully, he can turn this thing around, man, and get it together. So, I mean, like I said, right now to be 40-20, we're sitting in a good place, man. And these are some of the what we're talking about tonight are some things that got plenty of time to correct and plenty of time to keep tweaking and keep pulling, man. So Walt Weiss, I'm pretty sure is looking at all of this, man. And like I said, to get healthy and then to continue to make that push toward the All-Star break, man, will be awesome and continue to build this league in the NLE. Speaking of All-Star break, man, and then you got the So the trade deadline will be, closely thereafter with the All-Star break. We always talk about Alex Anthopoulos and his magic, you know what I'm saying, around the trade deadline. Banks, I know it's still a little too early to tell. You just talked about our catching situation with Drake Baldwin, him possibly coming back mid-June or toward the end of June. But is there anything, are there any holes? Or I know pitching is always something that we can actually need, man. Whether it's depth on, coming out of the bullpen, but are there any other positions that you can see maybe at the trade deadline that the Braves might make a shake for?
I'm glad you asked. There's some whispers around, that it's a possibility that we have this old friend of ours to come back to the Braves lineup. I don't know if you heard, but Travis d'Arnaud, who has been here, been gone, been here again, gone again, might be making another appearance. He would be a welcome sight, especially since we don't have to rush Baldwin back. You would need, we don't know anything about our other catcher, Murray. But if you bring back Travis d'Arnaud, I mean, Travis d'Arnaud was very clutch for the Braves in his tenure since he's been here. I'm welcome it. You can't never have too many pitchers, so I can't really say a pitcher per se because we got two guys coming back, from injury. So
Swellenbach and who's the other?
Swinback and Waldrop.
Waldrop. Okay.
They both going to be starters, and then you're going to probably take two of those guys and bring them to the bullpen. Perhaps, maybe let me see, let me look. Perhaps they were talking about Renato Lopez and Grant Holmes perhaps going into the bullpen. Um, I'm no, don't hold me to that. I'm not really sure about Renato Lopez. I'm sorry, I may be saying the wrong guy. Maybe I think it was Martin Perez. Maybe I'm thinking about Martin Perez to be in the bullpen. But we'll see though. I mean, we got to crawl before we walk. Let's see what they get this first guy, Schwellenbach, let him get back, see what happens. And after that, we'll have to worry about Waldrop and see where he fits in.
So
But
Banks, not to cut you off here, man, but we got some breaking news here, Banks. Breaking
go
news
for
here,
it.
man.
What's up?
Since we on live, gotta break this in, man. This just popped up, man, on the feed here. Looks like the Falcons, according to reports, that Drake London has reached a 4-year extension worth about $141 million,
Oh
100
my God.
guaranteed, making him the number 3 highest paid wide receiver in the league if these reports are true. This is just coming off the wire right now. Falcons and Drake London reach a 4-year, $141 million extension, man. Your thoughts on that? I had to bring that up, and it was breaking news that just came out, man.
Wow. Well, hey, bro, he deserves it, bro. He got paid, brother. Congrats to my boy Drake London. He's going to be a Falcon. So, I'm really I look, thank you, y'all. Hey, look, hey, you right, prime time. Let me hold 5 million real quick. Hey, he deserves it. He's been putting our offense on his back and doing he's doing. That man deserves it. He deserved it. Absolutely.
Man, listen, I mean, you're right. I mean, it was just a shock, man, because I mean, obviously, we just talked about it the first half of the show, the moves and things that need to be made, where you see your money is after June 1st. And this is a guy that they put a lot of stock in and they want to lock him up. I mean, he is a prototypical wide receiver that you need on your field. Somebody that has length, somebody that can get the ball, somebody that can get the first down when you need to, somebody that's tough, somebody that's gritty. And he is that guy at wide receiver, man. You know what I'm saying? If our boy Derrico was here, I would tell him, I would make him do it again and eat crow and say, hey, you better give some props to that light-skinned dude, Drake London, man, because he turned out to be one hell of a football player.
Let me
And
tell you
it's paying
something.
dividends, man. I mean, this guy is phenomenal.
He's the guy, man. When I tell you, when I just said that he put the offense on his back, man. I mean, I'm not exaggerating. The man, like you said, he catch those hard catches on that goal line. I remember we played Buffalo, and he just turned that game apart. By catching that ball and then holding that ball across the goal line and snatching it back real quick before the defender got to it, and then that non-touchdown at the end of the half. I just thought that was the
Yeah.
play that had the stadium about to rip apart because he basically willed himself to that. He tried to get to that
He
end
tried,
zone,
yeah.
but
He
he
was
tried.
he was
He
trying to
tried his
make it, yeah.
damnedest. So, you know, It's just,
Or you go back a couple of years ago, man. At that point, beating who would become the Super Bowl champs up in Philly, making that catch. You know what I'm saying, on that
man,
2 minute
yeah,
drill.
yeah,
So I mean,
yeah.
he has made. If this is indeed the case, is not confirmed, but these are the reports coming out right now that he's going to get a 4-year, $140 million extension. I think it's well deserved, and I'm not mad at that at all. And I can see where the Falcons will probably be looking at keeping the core, this offense together, because obviously there's another guy that's going to probably command a big payday, and that'll be number
Yeah.
7. And
And
if you
that's
keep
my
number
next
5 and
question.
number 7 together, I think you'll be okay. What's the next question, Banks? I'm
My
sorry.
next question is, how do we fit that in? I'm pretty sure that's on the next docket of paying number 7. He's going to probably demand the highest running back in the league.
Oh yeah,
Let's not sugarcoat that.
and
So
that, and you pay it. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of people that have a lot to say about paying running backs. And there'll be a lot of argument and pushback against it. Banks, I don't know how you feel, but I think that when you talk about generational talents in football, I think there's no question in my mind that Bijan Robinson is a generational talent, and we've seen this guy get better and better and better. You're looking at people like LaDainian. When you start talking about people like LaDainian Tomlinson and Barry Sanders, Thurman Thomas, Marshall Faulk, he's in the same category in sentences with those guys. So I think there's no question, man, as a generational talent, man. I mean, if you gotta do what you gotta do to, who I don't know, I forget the running back that they just paid like a hell of a lot of money down in Miami, if I'm not mistaken. They probably just set the bar. If and he's nowhere near, in my opinion, nowhere near as good as Bijan.
was A
Uh,
Chain?
yeah, I think a chain out in Miami that just got paid. Obviously, you're gonna have to pay him. You can't, you put a lot of stock in him. He was a number 1 pick. And like I said, this kid has gotten better and better and better. And you keep him with Drake London as a core of your offense because they're still young. I mean, Drake, I just looked at Drake. He's 24 years old. I mean, these guys are young, man. I mean, obviously, we still have some questions to answer behind the center. But if you keep a core of guys, I don't, you put somebody behind center with Drake London and Bijan Rock, with just them two, you could put Willie Bobo back there, man, and I think that we can be productive at offense, man. So that just came down the pipe, man. Had to bring that up. Go ahead, Banks, man. We're about to close this thing out here in just a second.
No, that was just, that was my concern about number 7, man. I know that it was a question. I'm pretty sure a lot of people heard on the radio and social media. Who do you pay? Do you pay Drake London or do you pay Bijan Robinson? Never both. But if you had to pay one, which one would you pay? Well, I guess that's kind of a redundant question now because Drake London just got paid. So I mean, so now my question to you now is you just said it. Bijan is next, and he will demand the highest running back in the league status. So I mean,
Well, I mean, and let's be real. We don't. I hate to be like this, and I hate to say this, but we don't have a franchise quarterback right now that's eating up a lot of the salary cap. I mean, once we get a lot of that dead cap space off the books here in a couple of years, man, we're gonna have a nice big chunk. We're gonna have a nice big space in the salary cap, man. So you will be able to pay somebody like a Bijan Robinson, and then if you have somebody that obviously steps up to be that franchise quarterback, man, you might have a trio of guys between your franchise quarterback, your franchise running back, and your franchise receiver that'll give you, some clean. Because listen, the formula was we had Matt, Julio, and Roddy. Obviously, it was a committee of running backs that we had come back and forth through here, man. But the core was Roddy, Julio, and Matt. They were together for how many years, Bank? At least 6 or 7 years that they made a run into the playoffs, man. Together. So I mean, if you could do that with hopefully bringing in a franchise quarterback, if he's not already here, because we don't know, I don't know, alongside Drake and Bijan, you might be cooking. You might be cooking. I don't know. I'm
well, I
being I'm
mean,
being optimistic here. Glass
well,
half full.
I think what you're saying about the core. That is very important. You bring in, Drake is the first cog, I guess, and we kind of all know, and I don't want to say assuming, but I kind of think we all know that Bijan is going to be here, and you know, for the longest, if you're a Falcon fan, would say that Bijan Robinson is your offense. I think we can safely say that. Now, if you gonna lock those two up, and the next, I guess the next step after that is find you a franchise quarterback. I sure hate to be talking about that. Like we still talking about that, but I mean, who knows? We need to see what number 9 is going to do or what number 1 is going to do. So and we don't know yet. So, but at the same time, I'm happy for number 5. I'm gonna be even more happier for number 7. So so here we go. Going
Yeah, and
forward.
like I said, bro, man, we talk about these things, man. It's not always doom and gloom. You know what I'm saying? You got to play the cards that you're dealt. And obviously, man, with Ian Cunningham, Matt Ryan at the helm, and Stefanski as coach, they got to shake this team out, shake this team out. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna hopefully make the decisions. And it looks like you want to keep the core and keep it young. I mean, this is a relatively young team all the way around, Banks. If you look at it defensively and offensively, man. So if you get it all in place, man, get it all in place, man. The sky's the limit. We always talk about how things don't always fall in our favor, man. But hey, we just have to see how the chips fall, man, and where they go with the Falcons, man. So closing this thing out, man. Braves on tonight, about to fire that up first pitch in a few minutes. Like I said, Knicks Spurs tomorrow, NBA Finals. Also, Banks here, man. I forgot to talk about it because we ain't had a hockey team here in a long time. But NHL Finals going down. I think it's the Las Vegas Knights and the Carolina Hurricanes, if I'm not mistaken, in the NHL Finals over there. I ain't looked at hockey in a while, man. Every once in a while, I'll find the Nashville Predators on and I'll fire that up for a second, man. But I might, I don't know when that series starts with the NHL Stanley Cup, man. But I might fire that up, man. Side note, I had the opportunity a couple of years ago to go up to Toronto there's the only outside of college football Hall of Fame here in Atlanta. I got a chance to go to the NHL Hall of Fame up there in Toronto, which was actually very cool. If you're actually in Toronto, man, I highly suggest to check that out, man. A lot of history, man, about the game of hockey up there, man. So yeah, NHL Finals, Vegas and Carolina, man. Banks, I don't know if you're gonna tune in for a couple of them, but
Oh, absolutely. I watched the Montreal Canadiens and Buffalo Sabres series, and that was very interesting and exciting to say the least. Shout out to the Habs fans in Montreal. Guys were rabid up there. It was very intimidating to play on their ice, but Carolina pulled through, and they're in the Stanley Cup Finals. But yes, it is exciting. I do catch NHL playoffs, secretly because it seemed like I'm the only one that watches it, and I don't
no,
have
you're not.
nobody
You're
to
not the
talk
only
to.
one to watch it, man.
I have nobody to
You know,
talk to about it. So, but yes, I do watch NHL playoffs, and it's very, very exciting. Um, but yeah, I got another team I want to shout out to get a chance to Atlanta Dream. You out there, 5-2. Got a game tonight against Connecticut. Shout out to Angel Reese out there involving her game, who is now shutting up all her haters that she cannot score, and she is scoring. She is doing her thing. She is hitting threes. So I don't know what everybody else are wanting her to do. I think they still feel like she don't needs to be, on the pedestal. It's supposed to be Caitlin Clark all the time, who is, by the way, is getting a lot of ridicule for how she's acting these days. But shout out Angel Reese, keep doing you doing, girl. Make Atlanta proud.
yeah, man. Shout out the Dream, man. All right, man. Listen, it's been another edition, Banks, man. We're gonna bring it back here next week, man. Probably have a lot more to talk about here, man. Rolling into the summer here, man. A lot of more Braves talk. We'll see where the Dream is, of course. Obviously, man, just one more step closer to the World Cup, man. Banks, we're gonna do some World Cup dive, man. I mean, it should be fun. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to fire these games up, man. And hopefully we'll have a lot to talk about, man, with the World Cup, man, because it's exciting. Like I said, it only comes around every 4 years, and I'm totally looking forward to it. No matter, regardless of everything's going on geopolitically, um, hopefully once, like Reg was on last week, once we get the toe to the ball and balls and nets, we'll have some fun watching these things shake out, man. And some of these countries that you ain't never heard of, man, you'll see how exciting it is for them to be in the World Cup and play these games, man. Banks, let everybody know where they can find you at, man, before we close this thing out.
You can find me at Antoine Jarrell Banks on Facebook or Baby Banks 80 on Instagram. Shout out to Mr. Skeptic, Mr. Primetime Ray, and Mr. Big Love 24K. Appreciate y'all checking us out. Keep doing sending us love, and we spread the word. So tell them everybody that the ATL 3 style, man. We talk Atlanta sports, and it's our love and our passion.
And that's Miss Skeptic, by the way. Shout out to shout
I
out to
am
Miss
so
Skeptic.
sorry. I am so sorry. I am so sorry.
And
Shout
our boy
out.
Ray. No,
Shout
that's
out.
okay, man.
Shout out.
It, and
Appreciate
I,
you.
and I and our boy Ray, man. Everybody, man, is showing us a love, man. Absolutely, man. Y'all want anybody want to come on the show, man? Come talk some sports, ATL sports, just sports in general, man. We'll do it. Like you said, Ray. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, man. We are live on Facebook. If you're still there, we're live on YouTube, and then shout out to my boy Ray, man, for turning me on to this Twitch thing, man, because we got it on Twitch as well, man. So if you're watching, man, and you're enjoying it, man, we definitely appreciate all the love, man. Hit us there. You can see, also hit us up on all our social medias, man. ATL3 style. We do what we do, man. So, we love it, man. We're going to be back next week, hopefully with another edition. Got to get, maybe me and Banks will be in the same building. You never know. You never know what'll happen when it comes to the ATL3 style live, man. Definitely look forward to doing it next week. All right, we'll holler at y'all.